up, guys? Welcome back to the Moderately Interesting Podcast. My name is Jeffrey.
I'm Angelia.
And this video, we are doing... Well, actually, no, this is... First and foremost, this is episode number 4, right?
Yeah, episode 4.
4. And we're doing a topic that's going to be kind of juicy,
controversial. It's a hot take.
It's a hot take. This is the reason why this episode is going up a little bit later. We wanted to take some time to kind of get, a little bit better of a...
Get our thoughts situated. And...
Yeah. So this is the reason why this episode is going up a little bit late. And if you're wondering, I think we did mention, like, on the channel, we are doing, like, little breakouts of the podcast. So if you're wondering, like, what other, like, these other videos are that's being uploaded, it's just small breakouts of other episodes. They're just going up on the channel as well. But, so with all that being said... this topic, we're talking about interracial relationships.
Yeah.
And just kind of a whole bunch of different topics all related to that. If you're new, like we just said, we are engaged, and obviously we're in an interracial relationship.
Yeah. Yep.
We're probably going to do a couple more episodes about this, and I would love to have different guests and like different people talking about their experiences and stuff like that. So this is kind of just our personal experience. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, where do you want to start?
I guess first, like, is this your first interracial relationship?
Okay. For me, no. Not interracial, no. I don't know.
Most of the people that you've dated, have they been...
Okay.
Have most of your relationships been with someone outside your race?
Most of them in my adult life, yes. And that's not, we're going to talk about that, but that's not by, like, specific, design or anything like that. But yes, but I've dated, black, white, other. Yeah. So, what about you? Is this your first?
It's my first time dating someone who's black, but not dating outside of my race. Mm-hmm. I would still say the majority of people I've dated have been white, but, like, no, I'd say maybe half and half. Yeah, I'd say half and half. Like, seriously dated would probably be half white, half non-white. But you're the first black person I've ever dated.
Oh, okay. That's right. Oh, and also, guys, if you're wondering what that sound is, that's just our dogs, probably in the other room. Literally, they were so quiet.
I know, this whole time.
Started recording, you can hear them now playing in the background. So if you hear that, that's just them.
Yeah, please disregard.
Yeah. So, with that being said, so your family people, they were like, oh, you've dated outside of your race. So it wasn't. Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you. So, like, going into this, how did, like, your immediate family kind of respond? Or, like, how did you even bring this up? Like, did you bring it up? Did you, what did you do?
Because I'm pretty sure you asked me to. You said, can you at least let them know I'm black first before I show up, so they're not like, oh.
Yeah, you don't want that to be the first thing that they notice, like.
So I did, and, like, my parents took it really well. They had no problems with it. I think it was more like the three of us, like my parents and me, got, like, more in our own head, like, is this gonna be awkward, like, more than it really was, you know what I mean? Like, we were like, oh, is this gonna be weird? But it wasn't weird, and they didn't think it was going to be weird. It was more of just, like, you know what I mean? Like, the preconceived notion that meeting someone's parents who are a different race has to be awkward, which it really wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, even meeting your parents was fine.
They liked you right away, so.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, it wasn't. I mean, I was a little bit nervous still, just in any case, meeting someone else's family.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, the racial thing as well, just like,
But I did let them know before.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I've been dating someone, like, I want him to meet you, and this is what he looks like. I wasn't like, so he's black. I was like, this is him.
Like, yeah, this is who he is. And yeah, for me, like, when I told my parents and family, they were pretty cool with it. I mean, like I said before, like, I've dated outside of my race, so it wasn't like the biggest thing at that point in time. I mean, I'm trying to think. Even with like my first serious girlfriend who wasn't black, even then it wasn't like a big deal. Like, it was more of just like, okay, who is this person? It was more of that than necessarily like they're a different race.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, more of like, oh, who is she? What's she about? Than
Yeah.
like, oh, who is she because she isn't black?
Yeah, it was more like, oh, who is this person? It wasn't necessarily like, oh, they're not black. Yeah, so like, I don't know. Yeah, so for me, like my family, it was kind of more of, okay, there goes. I think at that point in
like,
time,
here's someone you're bringing
yeah,
home.
I
Like,
think
it's weird anyways because
Yeah.
it's like a meeting of people who don't know each other. But
yeah, I think at that point in time, it was much more of like, for my family, it was just like, oh, here goes another person. Not another person, but it's like,
yeah,
so another
you
person.
have like a big family.
Yeah.
So you're like, hello, come, welcome.
Yeah, it was like, oh, hello, here goes another person. So
For me, meeting your parents I was so scared
Mm-hmm.
because like Jeff's parents are religious and I wasn't like raised religious, and I think that was more of it for me. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna be like, so where do you go to church? And I'm gonna be like, nowhere, and they're gonna hate me. It was less that like we were like from two different races, and it was more like, shit, I don't go to church, and
Yeah.
like that usually doesn't fly with people who don't go to church.
Yeah. Do you think the racial like stereotype of like the black church family, was that part of it too, or no? Or is it just like kind of
I was
religious?
honestly more worried about the religious piece.
Yeah.
I was like, anything that's like that's weird about me being white, I can deal with, but like me not being religious, I don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
I've never been around someone that I was like, oh, I need to impress you and you're religious. Like, I have no idea what to do in that situation.
So like, okay, so like, I don't know. So where do you want to go from here?
I don't know.
There are so many different things. Well, okay, so like, I don't know, like what do you think? Okay, so I don't know, I'm trying to like choose.
I know, it's like,
That's the reason why I said
we don't want to say anything to offend anyone.
Yeah.
So we're kind of trying to like choose our words very particularly.
Yeah. But also, like I said, there's so many different places we can
so
go.
many. Yeah,
we're gonna probably do multiple podcasts on this. Like I said, we're gonna have different.
There's
people
no
on
way we can
and
cover
different
it
thoughts.
all.
But like, this is our personal experience. So like, okay, well then let's jump right into this then. So like, what has been some of the like weird issues or things that have come up, in our relationship, or that we've seen, even if it's other couples or something like, something like that. Like, what do you think?
I mean, we get stares.
Yeah, we do.
I think we get stares quite a bit, actually, even now.
Which is weird.
Yeah, because you would think like nobody cares, because what effect does it have on like other people's lives, people other than our own? There's a fly in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've gotten stares a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or we went camping. Where were we?
Letchworth?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And we went into
Yeah, that was
we went into like a supermarket, whatever their local supermarket is.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a Tops or anything, but we went in there. We were also with another interracial couple.
Yeah. That's just the dogs, but
They weren't black and white like us, but so there was the four of us, and everybody was just like staring, like overtly, like,
yeah, it was very granted,
like not trying to hide it, not anything. Literally everyone in that store was turning and staring.
Yeah, like granted, that was like a much more that was a place that was much more like further out of like the city.
1 second.
3. All right, we're back. Sorry, the dogs, they just got crazy really quick. So like we were saying,
yeah, so we were in like a grocery store near Letchworth with another interracial couple, and everybody in that store was staring at us like unapologetically, like completely turning their heads, stopping what they were doing. Like, it was literally almost comical how like overtly they were looking at us. Like, it was kind of insane. I've never experienced.
Yeah, it was like a
anything
scene
that
out of a
before.
movie. We were.
Yeah, when people like turn and
everyone
stop
stops
and like
and, like-
drop stuff.
Yeah. I mean, okay, granted, it was like it's in like a place that's like not like in like a city, so it's kind of like out there, but it's still
Yeah.
like it's not like it's
But it's near a national state park.
yeah, it's not like,
like
we're out in the middle of like
nowhere, like
nowhere.
farm country.
Yeah, we're like an hour away from the city. Like
Yeah,
I don't know,
maybe.
it wasn't even like that far out, but I don't know. Yeah, so like instances like that, which that was really weird. Everyone
That was
there-
very strange. Like
everyone
I
did-
kind of felt like we were in like a horror movie.
yeah,
like,
everyone was just like
it was very weird.
it was just like, what's up, guys? Yeah, I mean, there's been like
And then there was one time we were at Fantasy Island, RIP
Yeah.
Fantasy Island.
I know, rip.
But we were going to get on a ride. It was like, who was it? Like your sister, your nephew. You and me, and like they let the three of them on and then closed the gate on me. I was like, wait, I'm with them.
Like I'm with them. The guy was like, oh,
And the guy was like, oh, sorry. And
Yeah.
he like opened it. He wasn't trying to be rude, but
Yeah,
it
he
was just
just-
like one of those like funny things. Like, oh, I guess like
yeah, just like oh, maybe I guess
it's weird. You know, it makes you realize that people like have preconceived notions. Like he
Yeah.
probably just did that instinctually without even thinking about it. Didn't mean anything by it, but it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's the stuff that kind of reminds us. Because, like, I'm not going to be one of those people that says I don't see color, because that is not a thing.
No, I definitely see color.
But, like,
Obviously.
every time I talk to you and, like, hang out with you and, like, look at you, I'm not like, oh, this is Jeff and Jeff is black. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
sometimes you're not
You separate it.
constantly thinking about it.
Yeah,
So, those are, like, one of the instances where I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Like,
yeah, it's like oh,
we're
yeah.
different races.
Like,
So,
yeah,
like,
we're-
you
yeah.
know. Like, obviously, I know I don't forget. I recognize the fact, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, everyone, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, but it's not always on the forefront of my mind. So I'll be like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll say even for me though, like, so I mean, there's always gonna be like some issues and stuff like that being interracial. I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
I know.
Very carefully here, because okay.
Sorry if this is a lot of and we're just like trying to think twice before we speak instead of just once.
Yes. Well, okay. So my thing is obviously when they see, it's a black guy with a white girl.
Yeah.
There's even before you know anything else already, like people
People are thinking like, oh, our black girl's not good enough for you. Like, fuck you.
There's
like,
a
all
lot of
this
different
stuff.
thoughts that go through your mind, no matter like if you're black, white, whatever. There's thoughts that go through your mind, like, oh, I could, I will say though, like, I've definitely have whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. People have said things or have mentioned things to
Like
me.
what?
As in exactly like, oh, like, so you're with someone who's white, or or like, yeah, like, how come you're not with someone else like your own race and stuff like that.
And like, what have you said to that?
In most cases, I'm just kind of like shrugging off, or
You'll just like not answer. You'll be like,
or
and
definitely
I'm going this way now.
well, pretty much, or just have like people like definitely like in public though, like I've seen people like they'll like look at me and just kind of like give me like a weird look. And like, here's my thing. I have two trains of thoughts with that. The first thing is I have compassion in the way of I understand the way certain people could think, as in in some people's eyes they can still be offended by it, and I am still compassionate in the way that I understand that logic. But on the other side of the coin, like, me personally, I don't care whoever you are with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, legitimately.
Dude, as long as it's two
Like, consenting adults.
safe adults,
I
who
don't
cares?
care.
Who cares?
Yeah, like, I legitimately could not
It doesn't
care.
affect you personally.
Yeah.
It's not like you're part of the relationship.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way it looks, look the other way.
Yeah, it's like, what? Like, why would it matter to someone else who you're with? or even, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like you're not part of that relationship.
Yeah.
But I can see how some people would be like, well, you're like diluting the race or like
Yeah, which
stuff like
that's
that.
like a whole.
I don't agree with it, but
That
I
to
can
me,
recognize that that's something that people
I mean, that's a
would
thought.
say.
That's a thought, but like I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. Right? I mean, obviously
Like,
we
I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but like, and here's my thing. Like, I know people. Which I'm probably gonna get killed for this, but
Oh, Jesus.
people will say like, okay, cool. Like, why are you with someone who's white? You know, more specifically, oh, you're a black guy. Like, you know, this there was a stereotype of like, you're with someone who's white. You know.
Yeah.
My biggest thing though, I'm not with you because you're white. Like, legitimately, I'm not. Yeah, I've never been with someone because of they're white or because of they're black or because they're anything else.
And I'm definitely not one of those girls who's like, I like black men. Like, I like people I get along with. Like,
which actually, I dated someone who turned out she was like that. And I didn't know that. And I was like, weird. Yeah.
I hate that. Like, I get you have your like preferences on like physical features and stuff, but I'll never be like, oh yeah, I like black men. Like,
yeah, because like attraction isn't like a choice. Like, you are attracted to what you're attracted to, and like sometimes you can't control that. But for me, it wasn't necessarily. It wasn't like, oh, she's white. Yeah, I'm attracted to that. It was more the fact of like who you were, like when we met.
Yeah, we met at work. We had similar interests.
Yeah, like if you were literally like the same person, but you were just black, I would have been with you, you know what I mean? Or I would try to, at least. You know what I mean? Or like, whatever. It wasn't the fact that you were white. It was just like, okay, cool, we have some interests. We're kind of hanging out, vibing. It's like...
that's kind of it.
Yeah. So, like, that's what I mean. But, like, I do understand, but I still understand how some people can still feel upset because... how do I say this? Let's face it. Can we be real? Like, and this is me saying this. This isn't you. So, if anyone's gonna get offended or get upset, be upset with me. Whatever. I'm used to it. But like, I understand there is some, like, levels of. There's just a lot of generational hurt when it comes down to a lot of these type of things, which I understand.
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
100% compassion. I have compassion for that. Like, I know, like, trust me, I know. And like, how some people can be offended, like, you know, why would you not want to still be with your own race, or or someone else would just like look at it, like the optics, which I don't know if I wanted to get into this, but screw it. I'm just jumping into it. I feel like a lot of the things, so some people think, is like the optics of if you're with someone who's white, it's because you want to, like, I don't know,
okay,
pull yourself up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, you want your kids to have every advantage, or whatever, or like the whole toxic thing that light-skinned people are more attractive than darker-skinned people, like, and that's all toxic thinking, honestly.
Yes. I know, I'm trying to be very careful how I'm saying this. Which, in that regards, like, I understand how some people can, like, the optics of it, they can be upset and they can be like, you know, like, why are you doing this? Are you doing this? Do you have not negative intentions, but like other intentions?
Yeah,
of
like,
being
is
with someone
it
else
for some other underlying reason?
Yeah. So, and with that being said,
and if it was, that would be fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
that would be.
I get that.
Yeah, and with that being said, it's like, I understand how some people can think that, but it really comes down to, like, it was never, for me, it was never like that. Like, being with you, it was never the fact of like, oh, I'm doing this because, hey, you know, like, whatever, I don't know, whatever, like, our kids are mixed or whatever, or like, I'm too good to date someone else of my own race or something like that, because that's clearly not the case.
Because I also feel like
the
there is a whole, you know, culture of, like, I don't know how to say it right, but like black guys who,
all right, if you're
like, hate on black women,
and I don't
like, no, they're too this, they're too that,
that is
like
not the case. That is clearly not the case here. Here's my thing. And, like, can I say one small side note here? Here's my thing, though. And like, and I don't get offended if someone else says like black love, because to me I'm like, hell yeah, black love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, being with someone else who's black, like, I'm not like, I would never, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it's like, if you want to be with someone else who's black, like, I understand that. Like,
do it.
Yeah, like, I would never be like, oh, that's wrong. Why would you want to do that? It's like, no, like, yeah, like, I like, I love when people like, be with whoever you want to be with. Like, that's kind of it. But with that same train of thought, it would be not stereotypical. It would be what's the word I'm looking for? Hypocritical for me to say like someone who's white can't also be like, well, why not? Why aren't you with someone who was white?
Yeah.
Like, I understand why someone would say that, because on the flip side of the coin, they could, they're thinking like, oh, if you're with someone who's black, like, you know what I mean, like, you're so,
like, I can understand all of those viewpoints. I don't agree with them.
Like, I understand.
But I understand it.
Yeah, I understand that.
I can understand where it comes from, but I just don't think that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't think it's okay either. But I would be a hypocrite for me to be like, I have compassion for, like, I understand why people think that if you're not with, if you're not with someone of your own race, like, you're a terrible person. Like, I understand both sides of the coin with that, but I don't know. Once again, for me personally, it was never the fact that you are white. It was just the fact of
we got along.
We got along.
Like, it doesn't have to be that serious.
Yeah, and like, I know, and like,
we're just two people that got along. We've been together for 5 years.
Yeah.
Do you think we would have been together for 5 years if we were like, oh, I like black guys and he's a black guy?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I like white girls and she's a white girl.
I mean, to be fair, there's probably people out there who are doing that. I mean, right on.
I don't get it. Good for you. Like, relationships are hard, and even when you're in them for the right reasons, so I don't know why you would be in them for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but with that though, like, I would say though, but my family, in general, I feel like, no.
I thought they were gonna hate me. Can I be really honest? I thought your family was gonna hate me.
Okay.
Because I'm white. Because of all those reasons.
Right. That's what I mean. It's kind of like, it's
like, I'm aware of those reasons. I'm not ignorant to them. Like, I know, I get it.
It's like the optics. It doesn't look, it's kind of like.
Yeah, right? And I was very worried about that.
Right.
And, I was like, well, I hope I don't get judged.
Yeah.
Because of what I look like.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I can take it, once, because I don't get that every day. Like, to be really real, like, woe is me to be judged by the way I look once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not something I have to deal with.
Right.
So.
I will say though, like, I feel like, because like my immediate family, like, they were pretty quick to be like, like my parents, like, when they first, I don't remember when they first met you.
I know, it's been a long time.
I don't even remember. Like, I remember when I met your parents.
Do you?
Yeah, I came in.
Oh yeah.
It was like a quick meeting. But
I don't remember meeting yours, so
I
was so nervous I probably like blacked it out.
I don't even remember, but I feel like my parents, though, they were like, like they seen a picture of you beforehand.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Didn't know that.
Yeah, they seen a picture. I think I think.
I just remember being really scared, and like, you wanted me to meet them like 3 or 4 times before I actually did, because I was like, no, I'm just not ready. I'm really scared. Like, I don't want them to hate me. I really like you. Like. Yeah.
But also, I think that was because, like, I have, like, a larger family, though,
yeah, too. That's true. I'm an only child, and Jeff is absolutely not, so that was, like, I think, if anything, even now, that's, like, the biggest thing in our relationship. Like, I don't understand what it's like to have a bigger family. I think more than anything, more than race, more than religion, more than any of that, like, me being an only child is, like, the biggest adjustment we have to make.
Yeah, and I have a ton of, like, extended family and stuff like that, too. Yeah. I feel like that's...
And I don't. Like, I have...
but you do.
I have aunts and uncles, but, like, I don't really have cousins my age.
Yeah.
And, like, you have cousins your age that you grew up with.
Yeah.
You have sisters.
Yeah. So it's
you have a lot of aunts and uncles that are always around.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different with that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't remember when we first met my parents, but I feel like we met.
It was probably just like nothing.
Yeah,
Your mom was probably just like, hey, and gave me a hug, and that was probably it. But
yeah.
to me, it was like the biggest thing in the world, and I was so like worried.
Yeah.
Because when I had been in other interracial relationships.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me about that. I want to know.
The guys I was with, both of them, their families were not a fan of me. I don't know if it was me, because like I was crazier in my younger years.
What did they do? I'm just curious. So what did they do? They were just like, they gave you like weird looks. They were just like,
I don't know. So because I don't know if they're gonna watch this, but like there was a lot of reasons one of their families didn't like me, so I'm not gonna get into that.
Okay, don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah, but the other ones, like they spoke a different language at home. And my ex would constantly tell me that they were talking about me not well while I was there.
Okay.
And like I don't know if that was just like me or like
just their
me being white. I don't know. And like
can you
they're
say
lovely
what race
people.
they were?
I don't want to.
Okay, then don't do that. Yeah, don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to. But so that was another like layer of it, because every time I had been in a relationship with someone who wasn't white, their family didn't like me. To be fair, a lot of the white guys I dated, their family didn't like me either. So like it's not.
Yeah, you told me that before.
It's not just like an interracial thing. Like just parents. I don't know. Maybe I was with guys that didn't have the greatest families. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was crazy.
Can I just say, for me, I was nervous meeting your parents because. You know, you never know. But I feel like, honestly, like every relationship I've been in, like in my adult life.
Because, like, you're a very good, like, I mean,
I feel like
on paper, you're very good.
I've gotten along with
off
everyone.
Paper, you're very good too. But, like, be like, oh, yes, my parents are pastors and I have a bachelor's degree.
But, like, people, like, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, like, everyone, pretty much, like, everyone in my adult life, then when I met their family, they've liked me. Pretty much, almost not immediate, but like very soon on. Meaning your parents, though, I was still a little bit just cautious. Like I wanted your parents to like me. Yeah. I also don't want to force it. Like, hey, here I'm, running.
Like shove it down their throats. Like, hi, love me.
Yes, but I was kind of like, okay, do they know what I look like?
Right. Yeah.
Do they know I'm also a very tall dude too? You know what I mean? I don't want just turn around. Just, giant 6 foot, black dude just walking in the door with like locks, you know what I mean? That could be intimidating. But I feel okay. So like one of my first relationships when I was like a adult, I always like to preface that when you're like a kid and like
you do
that don't really matter. I'm telling you, when you're like an adult, like upper high school going into like
adult world.
Yes. Yeah, like she wasn't black or white. I'll just say that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it vague.
Yeah, trying to keep it vague. But we, like, even from then, people did look at us differently, but I feel like it wasn't so bad. But, like, I think that was when, like, I first started realizing, like, oh, yeah, this is when, like, people, like, they kind of look at you differently. It's like, oh, you're with someone who's of a different race, or like if someone has a problem with it, they'll like give you like a weird look.
Yeah.
And like, granted, I was much younger then, but that was when like I first started to like really notice it.
That's really strange to me.
What?
Because like,
what are you gonna say?
In the other, like I said, like you're the first black person I've dated, but in my other relationships, like
they didn't look.
We obviously had a different like skin tone, but like it wasn't as stark of a contrast, you know what I mean? And we didn't really get looks.
Really? Yeah, we've gotten looks, but I feel like, okay, how do I? I'm not gonna say
You're
that.
cute, so you get looks.
No. That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say because we were. How do I say this? She was brown. I can say that. That's She was like so.
She had an olive complexion.
Yes. Yeah, I'll say that. That's a good
Yeah.
descriptive term. Yeah. Um Even with that though, I still feel like we still did get looks,
That's
but,
so weird.
but it wasn't in the same way that we get looks. But
Yeah.
I will say this though, one of my other relationships, I dated someone. We dated for a while. This was like the most like, okay, she was out. She was Caucasian. She was white. This was like, this to me though was like, this was a strange kind of relationship. Her family was extremely wealthy,
Oh, okay. Now I know which one you're talking about.
and I was like, okay, how in the world is this gonna go? Because like I didn't know, I didn't really know. But her parents, they were totally cool. I remember when I first met them. Went out to the house, and it was like,
But it's also like,
what?
I feel like there are families who are actually cool about it, and families who
Yeah, it's kind of face.
are trying to be so
Being to
cool
be
with
cool.
it because they're not.
Yeah, there's like, oh yes, come in. Come,
Like,
you know,
yes, you're part of the
part of
family. Like
love,
when
you
it's
know.
not,
And then they're just like, whoa. You know,
because they
behind
think it's
closed
how you're supposed to
Yeah.
act, not because they truly feel that way.
Yeah, I think her. I don't.
So which one do you think her parents were?
Honestly, gotta be honest, probably like, they were.
Doing it because it's what they thought
They
were
were.
supposed to do.
They were nice. They were progressive.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they lost sleep.
Mm-hmm. When you broke up,
their relationship ended. I don't think they lost sleep. They're probably thinking like,
I'm still shook.
they were probably thinking like, this is just a phase. This is a phase that will pass through. But I will say though, no. But
People are not phases.
yeah. Well,
God, I
some
hate
people are. Some people are.
I
But
mean, I guess.
but I will say though, when we were dating, we were out in public, because we, like when I was with her, we did like a lot of stuff, like when we were kind of like out in like, where if you saw someone who was black, it was kind of a big deal, like out there. So definitely we got a lot of just weird, crazy looks, and like,
I saw you guys out before
yeah,
once.
oh yeah, I know that's strange, but like not there, but like we
No.
were like way out, and like we got a ton of looks, and like I felt
So
very
like,
self-conscious about it.
I have a question. So I know. So when you were with black people, did you get looks at all?
I mean, yeah, but for different reasons. Like we would get looks, but that was more of a look like, what are you guys doing here?
Oh, like
Yeah.
people being prejudiced.
Yeah.
So like,
So
okay,
I'm getting looks no matter where I go. Someone's looking at me like,
that is like a sad
I can't
reality
tell
that
what this
really
person's
breaks
doing.
my heart. Honestly.
yeah. I mean, but it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, no, because when I was, we're not getting to that one, but yeah, I've had experiences with, like, even out in Canada, like people said stuff to us, like even when I was with someone else who was the same race as me, and that's just like, I don't know, whatever.
What
But,
year is it?
Yeah.
Who raised you?
Yeah. But like, I don't know. But yeah, so I think like, but the one thing I do want to mention though, like for me though, like I feel like my immediate family, they were pretty much, accepting of you. I feel like if there's anyone else who's like extended family, if they have a problem,
Which they voiced problems.
like I don't care.
Just saying.
Like if someone else outside, like I don't care, because my biggest thing is like, I would never tell you, like, someone else, like, oh, I have a problem with you being with someone else. Like,
Because like,
it's not
how
my
is that your
business.
place?
It's like, it's not my business, first and foremost. If you're with someone, like, whatever. Like, remember we were watching, like, one of those shows, and it was, like, the chick who was, like, she wanted to be blue. And I was just
It's like,
thinking,
whatever, bitch,
yeah, you know
be
what I mean? That's
blue.
what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like,
paint
listen.
yourself blue every day. Who does it hurt?
like,
Besides
yeah.
maybe you with
Yeah.
chemicals and paint.
Yeah, like if someone in my family like legitimately came home with someone who's like like a chick who like wants to be blue, I'd be like,
Blew it up.
okay, you know what I mean? Like it'll take me
Who
like,
the fuck does it
Yeah,
hurt?
like I wouldn't care. So
I'd be like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing.
so to me, I don't really care. Like I'm like, be with whoever you want to be with. I legitimately don't care, because it's like, cool, if you found someone who like loves you and wants to be with you.
right, like that's hard enough to find someone who genuinely wants to be with you. Like, don't make it more complicated than it has to be.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're both consensual adults. Nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be that fucking serious. Like, I know, especially white people have a lot of, like, no, I won't even say that. That's not fair. All people kind of have a lot of, like, deep ingrained, like, things when it comes to race that, like, they need to work through. And I'm constantly always working through it and, like, checking my own self. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just, everybody has things, no matter what race you are, things that you just inherently think without even thinking it. And you're doing yourself a huge disservice if you're not, like, trying to analyze the way you're thinking. Like, oh, why did I think that? Is it for some underlying fucked up reason? Because, you know, like, if you're just, like, not questioning the way you think and constantly trying to be better about anything, really, even not even just race, like, you're doing yourself a huge disservice.
Yeah. Which that was one thing I wanted to bring up. Like, so do you think being with me, like us being together, did it change anything? Like, just like open up your eyes or the way you thought, or just
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like in any way, like give me an example of anything.
So, like, when I was in interracial relationships before, I feel like I lived in a really small town, and we weren't so noticeably different that I didn't really have to deal with anything. Like, I'm not saying I grew up being, like, a fucked up racist person, but I definitely grew up in, like, a 99% white town.
Yeah.
And there were things, you know what I mean? Like, even, like, going to the other side of the street. I'm not saying I did this, but people who go to the other side of the street when they see, like, a black person, like, just not even without like thinking of it, you just do it.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. Like, I'd be like, wow, you know what? Like, I mean, I didn't do it, but I know it's a thing that happens, and I never stopped to wonder why. You know what I mean? It's kind of stuff like, is that, like, a good enough explanation?
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, that you're realizing some of the
like, oh wow, that's a fucked up thing that
Can I just
people
say
do.
on a quick side note though, you know what I started doing
What?
when I see someone else walking, I actually cross the street.
And that's fucked up.
No, I'm saying
No,
like
I get it.
You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I cross
get
the street
it.
because I'm just looking like, you know what? I see you. I'm gonna cross the street before you cross.
But
the
that's
street.
fucked up.
I see you.
Because that's something a white person would never have to do.
Or right, but also
I would never be like, oh, let me not intimidate this person, even though I'm not doing anything. Let me, like, overcorrect the situation.
Right.
I would never have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So that's fucked up. You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah. The one thing I do want to say though, yeah, like with me and you, like I feel like us being together, it has been like, which, and that's the thing. I feel like it's different when you're a minority, being with so like. I feel like 'cause you are exposed to like people, like you are just by the name of being a minority, you are exposed to people who are white, like. You're going to be exposed to people who are white because that's kind of the way it works.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So I feel like, but even though, obviously I'm exposed to people who are white, even like going through school and stuff like that, because I went through like a predominantly like white school and like stuff like that. But I still feel like there were even like just getting like even like an extra layer of like understanding of like, like what is kind of. It's not. I don't want to say like I know the white guys struggle, but
there is no struggle.
Well, yes.
I mean, that's not fair to say.
Yes, that's not fair to say. But like understanding more of like, no, I can see more of like the other,
the other side of the coin.
Yeah, like I can see more.
Like what?
As in, I don't know, like I don't know. I'm trying once again. Trying to choose everything I say very carefully.
Yeah.
But,
sorry if this isn't flowing like normal, because we really are trying to be careful and not offend anyone.
Yeah.
But we thought it was something we should address.
Yeah.
This is honestly, like, this is the first topic we wanted to do when we started the podcast. But we were like, let's kind of do it a couple times before we come out with, like, the big guns.
Yeah, let's not go out swinging. As in, like, yeah, like, even what I was saying before, like, I can understand how some people could think, like, oh, like, even for, like, if they were to see you with me, how someone else who could be white could be thinking, like, oh, I do understand like I'm not, blind to it. There is some, you do get that, like, how do I say it? Like, you do notice, you know what I mean? Like you do notice it. And there are like certain like preconceived notions of like when you see someone like us. Like I get that. Like I totally get that. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Just what are you? Where are you going?
I don't know.
I
know there was a bunch of,
trying.
when we first got together, there was a bunch of people I knew from high school. People who are like kind of friends, not really like people I hang out with, but, and they'd be like, oh, I didn't know you were into black guys. And I'd be like, okay, well, what the fuck? Like that in and of itself, so funny, when you look at it on a surface level, it's not fucked up. But when you like start to, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, like kind of trying to take things analyze them past surface level to be like, oh, why would you say that? Why is that a thing? Like,
yeah,
I'm not into black guys. I'm into guys I have a connection with. I'm into people I have a connection with.
Yeah.
So like, it was just like, first off, why somebody I haven't really talked to since high school, why would you, feel okay to be like, oh, you're into black guys after not talking to me for years?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, is that a problem? Like, because why? Otherwise, you wouldn't see me get with some white guy and be like, oh, I didn't know you were into white guys or something. Yeah. Like, there's no comparison if it was somebody of the same race. So, like, what is the point in saying it?
Yeah. And, like, if I can, like, okay, well, so do you think you dating me, do you think you lost friends or like...
Friends? No.
Yeah. Or...
Random acquaintances that I don't give a fuck what they think anyways? Probably.
Yeah, like...
But, like...
Do you think...
If we're not close enough for that person to come to me and be like, hey, this is weird to me, so we can, like, talk about it and figure out why it's weird to them, and, like, maybe they can, like, examine their own biases, like, then you're not a friend anyways. You know what I mean? Like, if we're not close enough that we had a conversation about it, then, like, you kind of just, like, no one watching from the sidelines that didn't really have a place anyways.
Can I say this, though? I feel like even your extended family, they were, like, really nice to me.
My extended family loves you.
Yeah, like, when I first met them, they were just... But also, I feel like that is also part of me. I'm used to going to, like, big, like, family events and stuff like that. So I kind of, I know how to, like, oh, you just jump in, like, all right, hey, we're here. This is family. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that.
Like, I feel like you're more comfortable around my extended family than I am.
Yeah. I was kind of like, just jump in.
Because that's just never what I was exposed to. Like, growing up, it was just me, my mom, and my dad in the house.
Yeah.
Like, 3 of us.
Yeah.
For you guys, it was 1, 2, 5 of you.
Yeah.
And then, like, your cousins and stuff.
Yeah. And the people coming over. So, like...
You're just more exposed to situations with more people at the same time, I guess.
But, though, I will say, like... I'm trying to think. Like, for me... I think... I haven't... I don't know if I've, like... I didn't lose, like, friends over it. Because I feel like, here's the thing. Like, all the people I hang out with, we're all pretty progressive. We're all, like, like, if you're one of my friends or you're someone I hang out with, we're all progressive. It's like, not a big deal. Like, to me, it's, like, it's not a big deal. But even with me saying that, I do understand certain other people.
That's a big deal for some people. It is a big deal.
So, I get that. But for me, it's, like, it's not a big deal. And here's the one thing, though, I will say, though. Like, getting back to the whole point of, like, being with someone else of a different race, like, you get to see a little bit more into that, like, life. Here's my thing, though. I feel like when some people say, like, oh, it's like you're doing your race a disservice or something like that, or just like this weird, just like really out there weird, just racist thinking.
Yeah.
Like, my biggest thing is, though, you don't realize that, like, as a minority, like, we kind of need some allies too, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of like in the mindset of, like, if you're all just like, oh, you can't be with someone else outside of your race, it's like, well, you realize, but we still need allies and, like, other people too, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like if you base everything upon, like, hate and, like, not wanting to, like, I don't know, not create, but like
Both sides have to have
Like-
uncomfortable conversations and
Yeah.
grow.
yes, that's a very elegant way of putting it.
You know what I mean? Like it's a rough subject for a lot of
Yes,
people.
It's very rough. There's a lot. There is literally
Yeah, there's
a lot.
tons of stuff we could do a whole episode. We could do like 10 whole episodes
So, I
on
mean,
just like
we're gonna probably
racism in itself, but
we might.
you know, like it's uncomfortable to talk about, but it has to be talked about before it gets better. And it's going to take a lot of time for it to get better. Nobody's expecting everybody to be all kumbaya overnight, but
Yeah.
you know, like you have to like really do the hard work and really think about why you think the way you do or how you were conditioned to think versus what's okay. And you know, like ask weird questions. I ask you weird questions all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think it is your responsibility or any black person's responsibility to be there to answer white people's questions, but I appreciate that you do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It just you have to what?
No. I'm just thinking. Go ahead. What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
You just have to be uncomfortable in this situation to like get anywhere.
Yeah. No, definitely though. I don't know. Is there what?
What?
What else? Do you have any other thoughts? Because there's like, I don't know how much more we want to cram in here, but we have time. We can.
I don't know.
Well then, okay. Well then, tell me though. Do you think like, how many other do you have other friends who are in like interracial relationships, besides for us? Like I know we have a couple.
I've never thought of it.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it.
I was thinking about
but,
that too. You know what I mean?
I don't even have a lot of friends, so I don't think so. No.
Really? Like yeah, I'm trying to think. Honestly, I've had.
The only ones I do know I've met through you.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm just now realizing that it's not really that common. Like, I'm sure it's more common, like,
Well,
but in our personal, like, life, it's
Yeah.
not that common. I never even
for me it
thought
is
about
though.
it.
Honestly.
Really?
Yeah. Think about it. The closest people.
Yeah, but other than those two couples.
Well, there was a third.
Oh, right. But other than those two couples that are still together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else?
Who else do you think? I'm not gonna name names.
No, but, like, are there more that I'm not thinking of? Or no?
No. I mean,
Yeah,
but, three,
see?
but how many couples do I know?
I don't
Oh, well, I
know.
guess I do actually know. Okay, whatever. But the point is still like, yeah, it's still like not the most common thing, but I feel like that's just like the places like.
Yeah,
It just depends.
we don't live in a hugely populated area either.
Yeah,
so.
it just depends. But I will say though, like I feel like there are like every type of relationship, like there are some like, or interracial relationship, there is some like things that everyone goes through, like not just black and white, you know, like whatever and whatever. People have different type of. Everyone has their
Do you
own
think
problem
it's-
things.
Do you think it's worse for interracial couples who are black and white? Just because outwardly it's so much.
You know what? That's a very good question, and sorry, it's a very
sorry.
good. God, that's a very good question. And the thing is, though, I still want to say yes, even though I feel like it's
Unfair to say yes.
yes, because obviously because we're like living it, so like
Yeah.
we see it more.
Right.
But I still think it's such a
Because
stark
just
contrast.
immediately, like, face value,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
so.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like even if you don't know anything
You
about
know what I
the
mean?
couple,
That's what I'm saying. Other interracial relationships I've been in, we weren't
Mm.
so incredibly noticeable right away.
Yeah. Sorry, my voice.
Hello?
I'm going through puberty. If you didn't know.
No, but we weren't so, like, immediately noticeable that I feel like we didn't get looks. I mean,
Yeah.
we did, but, like, not
Not-
a ton.
Yeah. I want to still say, yeah, I think though, yeah, black and white, because it,
I mean, I'm sure it's still hard for other.
Yeah, I
but
think it's still
wonder
hard
if
for
they
other-
get the same like get it to the same degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure everyone does in certain, instances. And like, and also
yeah, it also depends where you are.
Yeah, it depends on where you are too, obviously. If like yeah, like if me and you were to go to like, I don't know, somewhere in like actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. Not even gonna say that. We're gonna go any descriptive place that is non-black or white. I feel like people are gonna look at us, but that's just because we're like, another race. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna be like, oh,
like somewhere that's neither one of our
yes,
races.
Yes. If we're going somewhere else, that's neither one of our races. Like, people are still gonna look, but that's just because we're
different from them.
Yeah.
Not because we're different from each other.
Yeah. Exactly.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, like, because we look up on, like, when we're on YouTube, we look up interracial couples all the time, and like some of the shit people say, like, there's that one lady who's like, white men are just boring, and
oh yeah, and I'm like,
it's like, okay, every white man you've ever met is like, boring and ugly. Like, come on, all right,
lady, let's
like, please don't fetishize a race and be insensitive and dumb.
That's very weird.
It's like, okay, settle down. I'm pretty sure you're just like generalizing and trying to like fight for a cause in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, it just blows my mind the shit some people say. What? Yeah.
Now, so let me ask you, do you think it's harder for like a black male, white female, or white male, black female?
I think white male, black female
is harder?
Yeah.
For him or for her?
For both.
For both?
For the relationship in itself.
Yeah,
because like women, and I'm sorry if I'm not putting this right. I'm not saying I know the struggle of a black person, because I don't and I never could. But women at least understand what it's like to be discriminated against for being a woman.
Yeah.
Where like if you're a minority with a white male, which I obviously don't know. I don't have any personal experience, because how could I? But like white males, for like generalizing here, for the most part, like don't really have anything to compare that to. Like, at least I can like a teeny tiny little bit wrap my brain around it, because I'm a woman and I've been discriminated against for being a woman in certain situations. But I feel like if you're with a white male as a minority, that common ground isn't there. Yeah. But again, who am I to say someone's relationship won't work?
Yeah.
I think it's just an extra hurdle you have to get over.
Yeah. Yeah, which I can definitely see that though.
But I think it's easier for white men to be accepted by people's families.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Cuz like I feel like if you're like a white guy and you're dating a black female, I feel like you would be accepted into the... I mean, granted, I'm very, very generalizing. I don't know everyone. Some people are going to be like, no, I wouldn't do that. But, like, for me, I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like most families, they'll be like, oh, yeah. They'll just kind of, like, be like, oh, yeah, he's cool. And, like, he'll just jump in. Like, come on, man. Come to the picnic. You know, like, whatever.
But then it's like...
I feel like it's definitely different.
For women, it's like... Wait, why are you here with her and not someone else or someone of your own race? And I feel like the same thing doesn't happen if you were a minority to bring a white guy home.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, again, I have no idea, but that's just what I would think.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, actually, because, actually, in my family, I've seen that there's multiple... actually, I'm not going to say that. You know what? Actually, I am going to say that. I think that's fine. I think, because there's been black females with white males, and like I just thought about that, and like literally no one
thinks twice.
Yeah, no one even says anything like at all.
Definitely like,
which is it's like no one says it, like talking about extended family. So like
but we're also not the only black male white female relationship
in my family,
in your family,
right? Yes.
And I mean, like, we've had this conversation a million times. I definitely feel like
there's some weird.
There's some weirdness.
Yeah. But my biggest thing though, if someone has a problem, like screw you, basically, at this point in time. Because I'm like,
okay, what does it matter?
it's like, listen, I get it. I'm not insensitive, but also in this case, I am insensitive.
But
like,
also, like, we're a different generation that is trying to understand others better than I feel like generations before us. So it's like, whatever, your generation is your generation.
Like,
so it doesn't make it right, but
which is crazy. I know we just watching that of how like being like in an interracial relationship like literally still was illegal like not that long ago in certain states. So like I do understand times are changing, but like times are changing. Like this isn't yesteryear. You know what I mean? Like we are moving into a different era. Like
right.
There is. I truly feel like the best way for us to like get over racism and like all these other like negative things is like we gotta like move forward and like try to like understand each other and like not
at some point.
Yeah, on both sides. I feel like people have to understand like like we are let people like be with who they want to be with. Like it's not. Like it's like I can understand if you're like no I want to be with this race because of this reason like I have negative intentions or I'm doing something like I understand that that's weird. But
even
like,
then like I know people who are like there are so many white women out there who want to be with black men or who are with black men that don't even try to understand the struggle.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
That they go through and that fucking kills me. Like the person you are dating is not like a statement or an idea. They're a person.
Yes.
And it's like you can't if you love someone, even if you're the same race, you try to understand them from every angle. So like it's just shitty that there's so many women out there and even even not like white women, like any woman who isn't black who doesn't quote unquote like get it. If you're not willing to try to understand your partner and their struggle,
then like what are you doing?
Yeah, like if you're not even taking that much time to try to get to know them on that level or their experiences that they've had or what they've had to endure, like what are you doing it for? Yeah. It's not like so many people just fetishize races.
Yeah. And also people like fetishize like mixed babies. It's like that's
right. Like, I know like I've even had like what? How do I say this gently?
Gently.
Yeah, like some people have been like some people that I didn't expect it from have been like, wow, like mixed babies are the cutest babies. It's like honestly all babies are cute. Like they're babies. Like they're I wouldn't look at a mixed baby and be like, oh, that baby's cuter than that baby because they're mixed. Like right. I don't know. That is a very strange way of thinking.
Yeah. I just thought about that. But in your family you do have an interracial relationship though.
Oh yeah.
I know. I'm just like, what are you doing in a relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fine. You know what I mean? It's like,
and it's not the same. Like,
yeah, it's not the same.
It's not like all babies matter. It's just like all babies are beautiful. They're babies. Yeah. You know. Like children. I would. And it's really weird, you know what I mean? Because, like, when people find out that you're black, because I don't just go like, hi, my name's Angelia and my fiance's black. Yeah. When people find out that you're black, which I'm not ashamed. Right. Hold on. Let me start there. I have never...
Been ashamed?
Yes. Like I have never not told anyone for any reason. I have never been ashamed. It's just not something that, like... It's not, like, the top 3 things about me. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something I preface every conversation with.
You're just like, yes, I'm engaged, you know.
You like, you know what I mean? Like, when you meet someone, they're not like, this is my significant other. Like,
yeah, not the first,
it's not the first thing you learn about someone.
Well, you do, typically, if you're like, you know.
Well, if it's someone who's hitting on you, yeah.
Yes, but, like, you're not like, this is what they look like, stuff like that. Which is, it's kind of strange. Well, not strange, but, because I have a picture of us at my desk. I definitely know, and even like this job and like my other job too, and like I feel like people when they see that, people are like, they do kind of give like a quick like pause back, like which it is what it is, but like I don't know, this is what I mean. It's a lot. It is a lot, but I feel like though, I think we're doing a good job at navigating this thing. Like we're not perfect. There's like a lot of things we're still, like just daily. We're just trying to figure out like how to like navigate through this.
Yeah.
But then again, that's being in a relationship in
Anyways,
general.
yeah.
To navigate through things. There's just another thing that like.
Wait, where was I going with that?
Where? Wait, what?
Before. Oh, when. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Sorry.
Go ahead.
But just before I forget.
Yes.
Like, when people find out that you're black, they go, oh my god, you guys are going to have the cutest babies.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
And it's like, what the
like,
fuck?
I know, we're just like, we don't want kids. You know what I mean?
But it's
weird.
like, that's so, it's so strange to me.
Like,
why are mixed babies fetishized like that?
But people saying, it's like what you're saying, white babies aren't beautiful.
Right, or like black babies aren't beautiful.
Or Asian babies, or like whatever, you know what I mean?
Right, like you wouldn't just say that, like, well, maybe if they're like two very attractive people and you're a weirdo, you go like, oh, your guys' kids will be so cute. But like, I get that a lot, and it's like, thanks.
It's like, children are children, they're going to be beautiful no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just like, where was I going with that? I know I was segueing to something.
That was pretty much it. We can pretty much wrap this bad boy up. Because I know we
there's so much more we could say.
There's so much more we can say. And we probably will. Because like I said, we're going to probably do another topic on this multiple times. I would like to have someone else, some guests.
I know, yeah.
Because I really would like some other people's perspective on this as well. Because, I don't know everything about this. And
Definitely.
Everyone's experience is going to be different. And, I understand that. But, yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything, any closing thoughts? Any major things you want to bring up before we...
I hope we didn't offend anybody. I know it was kind of like...
Yeah.
This one didn't flow as great as our podcasts usually do, but we were trying to be careful about what we were saying.
Yes.
And not be insensitive to anybody and not word anything the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is something we talk about a lot and feel really strongly about.
Yeah.
How could we not? But
right. It's like people just... Let's all get along.
Can we all just love who we want to love? As long as they're an adult?
Yes.
And also want to be loved?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
Yeah, consensual adults, please. As long as we're all consensual adults, does it effing matter?
Yeah, it really doesn't. But with that being said, this has been episode number 4, the Moderately Interesting Podcast. We will be back next week. Yeah, this one went up late, so technically this is actually for last week.
Are we uploading on Fridays now?
We're not fully sure yet.
Okay.
I think
we're working with changing around the day of the week.
Yeah, the scheduling together to make sure everything flows a little bit better. But yeah, so this we will get a schedule. So, but throughout the week though, there'll be small little breakouts of the podcast of smaller the topics that we talked about. So just kind of if you want to check out that as well, you can see that as well. But yeah, so you can find me at Instagram, YouTube at Omega Greed. We can find you
at Panda Cow with 2 W's on everything.
That works. So, episode number 4, and we will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, the next video will be a little more
lighthearted.
Yeah, a little more lighthearted and a little free flowing. But all right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.